everybody! So today I had the chance to see the new Richard Linklater film, Everybody Wants Some, and named after the Van Halen song, of course. And this is dubbed as the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused, which he made in 1993, and that was set in 1976, I believe. And it is about a group of high school students on their last day of school, and you follow a whole bunch of them that are, some of them are freshmen, some of them are seniors. You get all different types in that movie. You get bullies, you get the new kids, you get the cheerleaders, you have the star football players, you have all these different stories, and you have this great soundtrack, and it's just about a day in their life. And that's basically what we get here in Everybody Wants Some. This is kind of a spiritual sequel. I've never heard that term before, but it does feel like it's sort of set in the same world as Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused, it kind of explores, I think, a little bit more different personalities. Whereas this, I feel like it's a little bit more more of a team dynamic and exploring this sort of group of boys. These are college students. It's about Jake, played by Blake Jenner, who moves into his freshman, and he's starting his freshman year of college, and he moves into the baseball team's house that they have. And so there's some hazing, and there's some different instances that go on, and of course they're told to not drink and to not have girls at the house, and of course they break all of those rules. And the movie is basically the first 3 days of his life at this house. And what Richard Linklater is so brilliant at doing is creating a sort of a piece of life. You know, it's like, I don't know, there's a great quote that says, "Cinema is too rich an art to leave to the storytellers." And so sometimes I like a movie that's just about a day in the life of a character. And I feel like you can learn a lot from that. Not everything has to have some huge overarching plot. And in this case, it's just about these guys, and I liked spending time with these guys. I thought they were charming and funny, and they'd have these like little moments of insight amongst all the insanity, and each one would kind of have their own different moments of insight, kind of like you had in Dazed and Confused. And you definitely get tons of shenanigans. It'll make you feel like your college life was pretty boring. I mean, how they pack in all of this into 3 days is pretty crazy. They end up at one point going to disco, they go to a country bar type place, and they go to a punk bar at a certain place, and then they're at a drama party at another place, and then they also end up going swimming on a river, and it's like, this is a pretty crazy life that they lead. He gets to his first day of class after all of this madness, and he can hardly keep his eyes open, and you're like, yeah, I can see why after all of that you did. And you just definitely assume that things are going to have to settle down a little bit in order for them to get any schoolwork done. But I was willing to, I just love how he writes characters so much that I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed spending time with these people. And I thought it was funny. I thought that, like I said, they were really likable. And I thought that it was interesting to see this sort of team dynamic and how competition kind of fed in everything that they did. And that's such a, to me, that's such a sports and college and young kind of thing in life. You know, you can't be happy if somebody beats you at ping pong. You can't deal with it. And I thought all of the actors were great, were really charming. Glenn Hoagland as Glenn Powell as Finnegan, and Quentin Johnson as Dale were my 3 favorites. They were really, really, really fun. And I thought it all felt real. It felt like these were real people talking. And yeah, maybe the parties are a little over the top, but that didn't bother me. It felt like the characters were real, and that's what mattered to me. And I just love Richard Linklater's writing and how he creates characters and just gets this sense of, this is somebody's life, even if it's totally 100% different than my life. I like being in the shoes of somebody else's life. And so I really loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know if it's better or worse than Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused is sort of like I said, it sort of goes more places. I don't think that it is better than Boyhood. For me, Boyhood had an emotional heft to it that I will never forget. When I watched it in the theater, I just sat there for about 10 minutes after, just blown away at seeing a life. Like, that just amazed me. I loved it so much. I know it's a controversial film, but I loved it. And I love the before movies. I think they're all just really beautiful, and just the way you get sort of absorbed in the life of that couple, and you get these little nuggets of truth in the midst of their just sort of rambling conversations. And I think you get that here too. So it's really all about, yes, there's not a whole lot of plot to Linklater's movies, but that's not what his movies are about. His movies are about characters and people. And I just love that. I think he's brilliant. So I will say that this movie this is a hard R rating for this movie. This movie has a lot of profanity. It has a lot of sensuality, vulgarity. This is not a movie I honestly would probably normally see, but I just feel like his movies are so worth it that I'm willing to go with it. But it is a hard R, so be forewarned. It is not for everyone in that regard. I love the soundtrack, of course. It kind of goes without saying. I already have it on pre-order on Amazon. You have Blondie and Talking Heads, Van Halen, Pat Benatar. The list goes on and on. Just amazing songs. And I think it's a great movie. So let me know. I gave it an A. Let me know what you think of Everybody Wants Some if you get a chance to see it. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.